Here's to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us, right or wrong, and to all those good friends that give you this song.
Well, hello, good friends, and welcome back to The Last Walk, Remember When, with your host, Ron Baumbach. And we're going back in time to the fun times. It's storytelling time. But before we do, let's learn how to make a chocolate egg cream. Get a nice tall glass. Give it 2 squirts of some Hershey or Bosco syrup. Put in a little bit of milk. Get some seltzer. Put your spoon in there. Have the seltzer hit the spoon as it shoots into the chocolate and the milk. Stir it so it's good and smooth with chocolate on the sides. And you, my friends, have a chocolate egg cream. Now get a Drake's ring ding. Sit back. Turn on your lava lamp. The Last Walk is back.
Oh, I've been so lucky and I've been so blessed. In spite of my failings, I've found success. For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
I always loved the theater. I always thought maybe it'll be my spot in the future. And as a youth in St. Aidan's Grammar School, the big thrill was once a year, the class play. But for whatever reason, my teachers didn't see the same stardom in me that I thought I had. So my job was to mainly be on the stage in the back. Somewhere on the stage in the back, and I was too nervous to ever step forward and be in the front. And there was always one very, very pretty girl in the class, Kathy Hetrick, who was the lead in the plays, if I recall. She was the most prettiest girl in the class, always in the front, always had the star. She sang very well, etc. And my job was to be a supporting cast member. That's how it all began. Now, a few houses away from us, around the corner, in fact, about 4 doors away, lived a really nice Irish family, the Dennehy's. The father drove a really cool station wagon. Our neighborhood celebrity was a man named Brian Dennehy. Brian was a local college football star, went on to quite an accomplished career on the stage and screen as the winner of the Golden Globe Award, 2 Tony Awards, the Laurence Olivier Award, and multiple Emmy nominations for TV show. He was our neighborhood hero, and he still is. I remember first seeing Brian as one of the original Maytag repairmen on TV. And I thought that was so cool. We watched with pride as his career would skyrocket into fame. And my personal favorites are Cocoon and his portrayal of Willie Loman in Broadway's Death of a Salesman, for which he actually won the Tony for Best Actor. Now, Brian also gave back, and I was very, very lucky and fortunate to have received the benefit of his giving. During my early teen years, back before my back surgery, I joined a local acting guild in our parish, St. Aidan's, in Wilson Park, New York. And Brian was the acting coach. Our production was called Oklahoma, and I proudly played the role and difficult or inspiring task of a boy on stage. Guy had no name, just a boy on stage. But I was pumped. I was very pleased to be given a speaking part. It had my one line very well memorized. Here's a baby boy for you, Miss Ellie. Here's twins. I never forgot my line. And I never forgot Monday evenings in the fall of 1963 practicing under the tutelage of Brian Dennehy. Brian's brother Eddie, who recently passed away sadly, and his wife Sue Ann, who also passed away, were the leads in the play. Excellent, excellent actors, both of them. But I remember Brian being the coach, being the director, and then watching his career bloom and blossom, saying, I knew him when. Thanks, Brian. You're a great guy. Appreciate all the help.
For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
So Brian got me interested in theater. And not much happened after that. I was in the hospital for a while, got removed from the theater part. But in college, in Marist College, I also joined the Theater Guild and did a couple of productions. Once again, no way near the star. I wanted so badly to be the lead lion in The Wizard of Oz. I really wanted that role, but didn't make the cut. In fact, didn't even make the play. I did get a part, however, in the very, very strong production called How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. My job was to be a dancer. Now, I can't really dance, and I can't really sing. But they put me in a job where I had to dance, not with a girl, but with the garbage can. And it was pretty hilarious, pretty much fun, and it got to be, they added it to it, and I got to dance with a garbage can, and had my one little 2 minutes of fame. Now, my acting career then took a real big jump forward. All my dancing wonders in How to Succeed moved on to the next production the following year in a guy named William Shakespeare's play, Midsummer Night's Dream. My job was to be all covered up in cardboard and play the role of the Wall. There was a love scene between the famous female lead and the male lead. I forget their names right now, but they were on both sides of me and the Wall. And my job was to have eye comedy, rolling my eyes back and forth at the lovers going back and forth in their intimate moment. And also, I then walked off the stage in the Groucho Marx walk, which got a lot of laughter. And that was my acting career. 3 big roles: Oklahoma, How to Succeed in Business, and the famous Midsummer Night's Dream.
For I've known love and I've known good times, and I have known friendship and written some rhymes.
People on Long Island are very lucky with a beach called Jones Beach. Now, besides the tremendous waves and the pool, the sand, the lifeguards, everything there, it's a tremendous beach facility for the summertime for people to go there. And the boardwalk, etc., it's really nice. There's also the bandstand, the Jones Beach Theater. Now, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, it was, and also now, there's still shows going on, but now it's more musical accompaniment. Years ago, it was a fellow named Guy Lombardo who would go out there in his Schaefer tent, and he would either open and close the show and bring his boat out, and he'd go to the front of the stage, give a little talk. Everyone knew Guy Lombardo for Old Lang Syne and for the annual New Year's Eve show, which then became Dick Clark's claim to fame, as well as then Ryan Seacrest. But for many, many years, Guy Lombardo owned New Year's Eve. He also owned the summer stage on Long Island, with incredible productions that were put forth every summer. Now, some of the productions we had going back was Paradise Island, Song of Norway, Around the World in 80 Days, Mardi Gras with Louis Armstrong. I remember when I was a paper boy, Long Island Press, delivering the paper, seeing the ads for the Sound of Music and Showboat, South Pacific. I think Showboat was there. South Pacific definitely was. Annie Get Your Gun, Fiddler on the Roof, Finian's Rainbow, The King and I, etc. Many, many, many shows. And I remember seeing Joe Namath come out as an actor in Damn Yankees. What an incredible place to go and enjoy the summer. In the summer sun, relaxing as the moon comes up. You see the water coming in. You see Guy Lombardo coming in, going off his boat. You have a little beer or a drink in the Schaefer tent, and you see incredible entertainment. And I enjoyed those summer days so much, as well as many, many other people on the island. What was your favorite play that you saw as a youth? What was the one that really got you going? The one that I loved the most was Man of La Mancha. I must have seen that show in the movie about 20 times. I have always been enamored by the Man of La Mancha and the Impossible Dream. What's yours?
I thought about my life and what had gone right, and I realized the song was right here in plain sight.
We are lucky in the New York area to have Broadway. And every city has a major theater, and every downtown has a major production for shows that go on the road. But But in New York, you actually have the Great White Way of Broadway. And Long Island has a claim to fame for many theaters also that do the Broadway productions in our own backyard. My wife and I have bought a ticket for John Egerman Theater season annual pass for the last 5 years, our annual anniversary gift to each other. We really enjoy going there, and they bring out the actors from the city to put the productions on. There's also the Gateway Playhouse in Bellport. We have that annual ticket pass with very good friends of ours. And I just read recently that in Babylon, they're going to open up a theater that's been closed for a number of years. They're being reopened. It's called the Argyle. They're going to do similar to John Egerman, bring in the actors from the city and put on Broadway-type productions right here again. So the theater is alive and well, and it's so much fun to see people actually performing the famous acts of the past and the present live on the stage. Once again, think back. What was your first play you saw live? When we were in Pompeii a couple of years ago, we looked at the ruins of Pompeii. I was really impressed by standing there and seeing the stages that they had set up in that ancient city that was devastated by the Pompeii and the volcanoes that erupted. But they were actually stages that the people would go to and watch the current theaters and the current actors of the day, the famous people on stage and screen, not screen obviously, but on the stage. So think back, your best memory of your stage and screen days. I've always loved the theater, as I mentioned. Going to the plays and being in the plays is a minor part of it, but going to them, seeing live performances is incredible. And we're so lucky that in the Northeast we live so close to Manhattan, we see probably the best of all is Broadway. But we're not the only ones. London obviously has their theater district. People just simply go to the theater in the West End. Chicago has a Loop Theater District, and they're well known for Second City, where that all started. How about Los Angeles and the Broadway Theater District? Or up a little bit in San Francisco in the Union Square and Tenderloin area. Or if you go down south to Dallas, the downtown section. Way back east of Boston, you have Boylston and Tremont Streets, where the theater area is there. Every city has their section. Philadelphia, the Avenue of the Arts by Broad Street. And Los Angeles, the Broadway Theater District downtown. Houston has Bayou Place downtown. And upstate New York State has a theater district called Shea's Performing Arts Center. And of course there's New Orleans with their Bourbon Street, Canal Street, and the Faubourg neighborhood. Let's not forget Memphis with Beale Street. What a great place to get great sounds. And when you're in Tennessee, you go to Nashville for a Grand Ole Opry. And heading on to Kingsport, Tennessee, in the theater district, entering his 69th year, the Kingsport Theater District. In Atlanta, in Midtown, you have Peachtree Street. So every place in America has their grand old theaters, the place where people go to be entertained. What a fun place to have live entertainment, and it's all there in living color right in front of you on the big stage. What really impresses me with the actors is that they do things live, no double takes. They can't do like in TV shows or movies, etc. They can't go back and do it over again. It's one time live, and every night they go up and do the same thing over and over again, memorizing the lines, being so natural, and becoming the role.
Here's to good friends, the ones we hold dear, the ones who will tell us what we need to hear, the ones who love us, right or wrong, and to all those good friends who give you this song.
You've been listening to The Last Walk, Remember When, with your host, Ron Baumbach. And the song you've been hearing has been Here's to Good Friends, song written and composed by Paul Cassone. The book, The Last Walk on Our Block, is available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. It's available in print, Nook, and Kindle versions. And my thanks to my good buddy Mike for all the help in making my voice sound so much better. I really appreciate it.
And a special thanks for Father's Day to all dads.